Here we go. Hi, and here we are going live for our Hello You interview series for positive, passionate women in business. And I'm here with Sandra from, I'm going to get you to pronounce it in a second, Sandra, but to me it's Renate Jewellery, for 15 questions in 15 minutes. We're getting to know more about Sandra, so kick back with a cup of tea or a glass of wine and hang out with us. So in the caption are all the spots to find you. So Facebook, Instagram, website, etc. So firstly, hi and welcome to you, Sandra. We're very glad that you are part of the Positive Passionate Women in Business Huddle.
Thanks, Kylie. I'm so excited to be part of it.
Hey, awesome. Okay, so if you're happy to, we're just going to get straight into those 15 questions.
Why not?
15 minutes and get going with it right now. And for those of you watching, any questions you've got, just jump them into the comments and we will answer them as we can. So firstly, I'd like to say, the first question is, tell me something about yourself that others might be surprised to hear about you.
Well, there's probably a couple of things. That I have a European heritage. I've got Latvian ancestors, or my parents are Latvian. I'm first generation born in Australia. That's been my upbringing, so I can write, sing and dance with that. And that I'm also from Melbourne and I'm an industrial designer.
Is that what it's called, an industrial designer? That's fantastic.
Well, when I studied it was industrial design, but now they've renamed it to product design.
Oh, but industrial design sounds so good, doesn't it? I love that. Industrial design. So if there was something in your past that you were able to go back and do differently, what would that be?
Probably would have studied graphic design.
Oh, do you feel like you would have been able to carry that over to jewelry? Or would you have just done something completely different with graphic design?
I probably would have done something different with the graphic design. The thing about industrial design, what it's done for me, it's taught me how to do so many manual things. I've always been a hands-on person, and it's taught me how to weld and how to do all these other bits of things that my mother was always shocked about and says, girls do not do that. And I said, this girl does.
Good on you. Yes. So what is it that you love most about what you do? And this is probably a great chance to tell us, first of all, how to pronounce your business name correctly and what it is that you do. And then tell us what you love about what you do. Okay.
Renate Design or Renate Jewellery. Renate is my middle name. So I use that as my business name. I've always loved that name and I love it. It's exotic and it's a little bit different. In Latvian, we would say Renate, so you roll your R, but in Australia, I say Renate. So I say it with an E ending, not an A.
Like Renate.
Renate.
Right, beautiful. And is it the Renate?
Renate, yeah.
I love it, that's great. So tell everybody about what you do.
So I'm a designer, and as an extension of my design, because I don't design every day, I do jewelry design. So I basically studied under a goldsmith person in Sydney. He's now relocated to South Australia. But I did classes with him not long after I moved to Sydney. And I was very fortunate to be able to do classes. He did 8 students, and I was very fortunate that he allowed me to play. And that's how a lot of my pieces come from, is playing. And because I already knew how to weld and stuff, it's just learning different techniques, but using silver instead of using stainless steel or wood or something else. And I just see that jewelry is an extension of my creative background that I have. I've always done things with my hands. I've drawn or I've made things or done other bits and pieces. So I feel that I am a creative person overall. And I just see it as an extension to everything else that I do.
And for those that haven't seen your jewelry yet, it's mind-blowing. Having a little look at your Facebook and what's been evolving with your products and Instagram and stuff, the beauty of it being, sorry, I'll just turn off my phone. The beauty of how you're inspired by nature is just stunning. One of the pictures I remember it might have been eucalypt leaves, is that correct?
Yes.
And then the leaf, then you showed us what you then created with the, it might have been earrings, I think, from memory. And wow.
Yes, that was it.
Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, really, really stunning what you're doing with turning nature into wearable art.
So I inspired by organic and natural things, and also structure. The structure comes from my industrial design side of things. So there'll be some things a bit more structured, but I do play with bits and pieces. And some things I have, like I see in my mind's eye, and I go, oh, let's see what that's going to do. May not turn out exactly how I want it, but I go, well, that's still quite interesting to be into a piece. So I allow the material to do what it wants to do. Where it comes to something like the leaves,
it's 6 o'clock.
I love the Australiana gum leaf, and I just think it's got a beautiful shape. And I'm constantly picking one up from the ground when I see one. And to transform that into silver and see what I can do with it, it's just, I think it's and then I color it, I oxidize it to give it an added element. So it ends up being something that's a little bit different. And I tell people it's a wearable piece of art, or it's wearable sculpture.
Yeah, it totally is. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning, your work. It's blown my mind. So what is it that you love most about what you do?
Sharing. I've now learnt to share with other people. It took me a while to be able to share with people that I've been doing this for a long time, and then sharing what I like and hoping that they like what I like too, or what I've done. So that's a huge step for me to be able to and a comfort zone that I stepped out of to do.
Right. So I hadn't thought about it like that, about do other people love what I love creating? And I mean, clearly everybody does. Look at it, it's stunning. And I've noticed in some of your pictures that is it market stalls that you're doing? So
yes, I sell at artisan markets.
So then you're getting immediate feedback also, where people pick it up and say, oh, wow, that's amazing. And, what a beautiful thing that is, that it's not just at a shop and you don't know what people are or how they're responding to it.
No, and I have customers come back and telling me how they get so many compliments about the piece that they're wearing. I even had a lady today come into my home to pick up a piece for her daughter and end up buying 2 pieces. And she's been a person who's followed me for a couple of years and has bought several pieces from me. And just the fact that she's coming back and wants more is not only a blessing, but it's also a compliment.
Absolutely. That's what we want, is that repeat custom, because they're loving what they're getting the first time and keep them coming back and back. That's fantastic. Awesome. So what is it that you love the least about what you do?
Not being able to sell as much as I want.
Right. What would happen though if you suddenly could, and then you doubled in size? Would you get people in to help you? Would you do the designing and they do the actual manual work, or how would you scale?
Depends on how quickly it does scale. I would like to think that I can still manage most of it. Because I hand cut everything out myself, and I hand hammer and I hand shape and everything like that. I don't want to take away that individuality from any of the pieces. I could get someone in to work with me, but then it may not be exactly how I want it to be.
Yes.
So I just basically have to tell people the waiting time will be 2 weeks or 3 weeks till you get your finished piece.
And then it becomes 3 months, and then you triple your prices, and that demand for it. It's exciting what's happening in your future, what's coming up. I'm really looking forward to watching it all evolve, Sandra. So
am I.
So if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing? And I know you touched earlier that you might have studied graphic design, but do you feel that would have been your chosen career if this is what you were doing? I don't think I worded that right, but you know what I mean?
So the jewellery at the moment I'm going to say it's a side hustle. So I've been fortunate. I've been able to go off and do markets occasionally. Currently at the moment, it's been very hard, but I did have one on Saturday. Yay, that was really good to get out in front of people again. I'm a studio manager for a brand user experience company. So I'm around creative people all the time. I'm not doing the creative anymore. I probably my career in the last 20 years, I've probably been more like a studio manager who I organise the work going through studios or printers or whatever else. And I also do production management. So that's what my day-to-day thing is. And that's full-time. Eventually, I'd like to think that I can drop that down to part-time because I need that continual income coming through while I'm trying to build this business.
You got lots of fun things going on there. That's exciting. Very exciting. So what's been your biggest success in your working life, Sandra? What do you feel most proud of?
I feel quite proud the fact that I'm actually now sharing my creative thoughts and my creative items with people. Be it like I also do sculpture, so I'm actually learning sculpture at the moment. It's where I duck off to Wednesday nights to go off and do my hands-on sculpture pieces. I enjoy doing that and having those around the house displayed. So when people come and visit, they go, "Oh, that's really nice." I think the fact that I'm doing my jewellery has been, I think, a great success for me because it, as I said, it takes me out of my comfort zone and I'm sharing something about me with other people.
Good on you. That's wonderful. So who are your dream customers and what type of jobs do you like doing the most?
For me, it's more about people liking what I do. I think I struggle with commissions because that means it's setting something into something that's a bit more rigid, and if it doesn't quite work or go to plan, being a perfectionist also, I would have to probably start it 3 times over or 4 times over until I feel that I'm happy with it, but then hoping the client will be happy with it too. So for me, I'm probably better off playing, and then if someone likes something that I've done, using that to take it into something bigger, smaller, into a ring or into cufflinks or into earrings or something else that they would like.
Wonderful.
It would be more enjoyable for me.
Yes, I can totally see that. It is hard, isn't it, when you as a creative to have to listen to what they want when you've got the ideas of what it should be. Yes, I understand. Yeah. What challenges do you see impacting your industry?
Not being out at markets and getting the clientele, and getting people, the following of the people. So even though now through your courses that I've been doing, all your webinars, I've been doing a lot more social media, getting it right also, so that you're not annoying people, just making sure that you're doing the right thing, letting people know, showing. I'm still trying to get people up to speed as to all the pieces that I have done in the past or what I'm working on currently, but also now getting out there and letting them know some tips. Like they're the things that I'm learning at the moment through you. So it's understanding how much to tell people, how much not to tell people, and how much to really share and getting it right.
Great. Well, you're doing a great job. I'm loving watching this whole thing evolve. So you're doing awesome, honestly.
Thanks.
So when you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an artisan or someone who ran a gallery and taught art.
Oh, could that be in your future?
Well, maybe.
Wow, that's super interesting, isn't it, though, that you're kind of you're on the same path, aren't you, with it's not like you want to be an astronaut and, very similar.
No, I think since little I've always played and drawn, and I've, made things. I've always made birthday cards for people and family and stuff. And art was always quite important to me. And my grandmother also, drew and painted for a long time. My mother, when she was younger, she could draw. It's just, it's that expression, that creative expression. I think it's always been with me.
It is such a gift to have that too, to be able to draw and create and beautiful things. That's just wonderful. So if you're an animal, what would you like to be?
My favourite animal is an elephant. Always been an elephant since I've been little.
Right. That's an interesting one. So you're actually not the only person that said they'd like to be an elephant. You know, there's a lot of pretty amazing things about that creature. So
There is. And as my husband says, I have a memory like an elephant.
well, that's a good thing, that's for sure. So if you were a movie character, which one would you be and why? So in what movie would you be?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know.
A funny one? A serious one?
I always think I'm too serious anyway, so I need to be something funny, I think, to break out of that shell.
What is your favourite movie?
I don't necessarily have favourites. I like a lot of films. I love the romantic films, the feel-good films, because I cry always at those. So
I understand. My daughter and I are really into period dramas. We love a lot of Pride and Prejudice and
yes.
all those beautiful romances, little unrealistic romances, perhaps.
Yes.
All right. So if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
I love Australia, but I think I would like to go to somewhere like Canada or go into Europe and do one of the European countries. I love Italy.
Me too.
And I also like Switzerland.
Me too.
So they're probably my main favourite destinations. I'm a skier also, so I love skiing. So I have to be somewhere where there's snow.
Yes.
But then I also need the water because I need that calming.
Yeah. I think New Zealand's sounding pretty good for you right now. It's got you're never too far from either one of those things.
No. It's interesting because we're looking at, and talking about where would we move to? And I said it has to be somewhere close to the mountains and close to water.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful to me. So this is question number 13, so only a couple more after this one. But what does being a positive and passionate woman in business mean to you?
Being inspired by other business women, seeing what they can do and what they've done, hoping to learn from people like I'm going to look upon them as mentors, seeing what I can learn from them and see what I can share with them and what I've learned along the way. And I think being in a close-knit community like that, or a group, I think it's easier to do that.
Absolutely. It's just such a supportive space to be in, isn't it? I find it incredibly inspirational to be part of it. And celebrating the little wins and things is...
Yeah, definitely.
I love it too. So what are you most proud of in your life, rather than your business life? What about in your whole life?
That I have this Latvian heritage. I think it's because it's not, when I grew up, not many people knew where Latvia was. A lot of people still don't know where the Baltic states are. But having that behind me, I think it's made me understand the world and differently. I look at things differently. And it just gives me something a little bit, that makes me probably a little bit more unique, I think, having that. And I know there's a lot of Latvians out there, but I see myself a little bit unique.
Very exotic. I think that's what it is. It's very exotic to be from that part of the world. And you're right, so many people know so little about it. Yeah, amazing country. So what's one tip that you can share of how you stay positive when things are challenging?
I always take a deep breath and try to calm and refocus on things, just to stay positive about things. But I always have probably been a positive person. I've always believed that I actually share positive thoughts. That's only my belief. I also like to encourage people to take the next step, or let them know everything's going to be okay. You know, I'm a calming, I think a caring person, and I like to share that with people.
That's so beautiful, and I totally get that from you, Sandra. I really do. And you know, it just reminded me that years ago, I think when we first moved to Byron, so maybe 20-ish years ago, I bought this bumper sticker that said, "Remember to breathe." And I just thought that was so wonderful. And I've thought about it often since then. Every time it's a little bit, whoa, just stop and remember to breathe. It's a...
Yeah, and let people know that you're there. You're a shoulder for them.
Wonderful. Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing these 15 questions in a little over 15 minutes of your time with us. Thank you. And it's such a pleasure and a privilege to have you here in the Positive Passionate Women in Business Huddle, and, you know, getting to know you and getting your support, and you supporting others and others supporting you. It's wonderful. So if you want to connect with Sandra, then all the details for Sandra are in the caption of this post. And we'll be adding anything extra in there, but I'm sure we've already got the Facebook, the website, and I think we just need to pop in the Instagram, and then they can go and find you and your extraordinarily stunning creations. So thanks, Sandra. It's just been
a pleasure.
Great to have this time with you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, you have a wonderful night. Thanks so much.
You too. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.